Hi, how you doing? Fat Sammy here. I want to bring something interesting to show you today. This is going to be the HEX on Ethereum chart, so the original HEX. I want to show you some TA I've kind of spotted here. Show you why I'm pretty much bullish on a swing trade here. I'm a long-term investor in this one. I'm going to hold this one throughout the altcoin market, but if you're not aware of HEX and you're just someone that likes to see opportunity, then let's take a look, shall we? Let me switch this over 1 second. Right, so first of all, again, this is HEX. This is against the US dollar, so most of the pairs are in either the dollar or against ETH, and you can buy this through any decentralized exchange, for instance Uniswap, or you can get it from Matcha or 1inch. You need to have a MetaMask or a Rabi wallet or some sort of independent wallet. You can't get this on a centralized exchange. Okay, so what we're going to draw attention to here is why I'm so bullish now on the price of what I think the price could do coming up and possibly in the next few hours, days or weeks for HEX, specifically HEX on Ethereum, not the Pulse chain fork. So for this, the first example I'd like to show you. Now we were in a wedge. This is way back a few years ago when HEX first was on its way to do its first 10,000x in price. So we had this descending wedge here at the top. So the top window here is the price. A lot of this isn't the best data, so you've got a lot of wicks here, but try and look past that. And then below it we have the BBP, which is essentially the bull versus bear power. It's got a mixture of different indicators in there, but what we see there is the bull and bear power. Sorry, the bears slowly losing power in the middle panel there, reducing power as we get to the end of that wedge. So we're seeing price go down, but the sell pressure and the bull's power get weaker. And at the bottom here, we have the volume, and as you can see, as we get towards the end of that wedge at the top, we see the volume going down and down and down. Less people buying and selling, basically. And how does that culminate? Well, obviously we've got the bullish divergence, regular bullish divergence there, with the price at the top, and then against the bull and bear power, and then we have the volume, which decreases and then leads to a breakout. And then when that breaks out at the end, we see a huge run up in price, and then price just kind of kept going up for quite a while there. This is a second example. Again, another time it happened on the chart. Again, we see a wedge forming, and we've highlighted some of those bottoms up here. You see bottoms start to get formed around the same kind of area. Again, we got the regular bullish divergence on the bull and bear power. So you're seeing price descend into that wedge. And I should point out that these downward wedges are one of the most bullish formats you can get. So they're similar to a bull pendant, you know, when you see a bull flags, but this is actually more powerful because it's compressing towards the end. So they, more often than not, they have one of the higher probabilities as a pattern to break to the upside, basically. Especially when you're in an oversold asset, which is already down over 5 years. So, yeah, again, you see at the bottom, the volume, the bottom panel, the volume is decreasing, leads us to a huge run up. This is the third example I'm going to show you before I show you the actual where we're at in the moment. Again, this is the most recent example. As you can see there, some yellow bottoms I've highlighted. So buyers coming to defend this price. So you've got a double bottom there in that situation. You're in the wedge, this time the yellow line at the bottom to illustrate the bottom of that wedge. And then you see here on the bull versus bear, and I've even highlighted where the breakout occurs there, descending, and then you see the volume at the bottom going down until we break out. So I hope you locked that kind of pattern into your brain now, and we can now look at, this is where we are currently at. Now, this one is actually far more powerful than the ones before. Why do I say that? So the others we were looking on a 4-hour chart. This is actually a daily chart because it's so big, the pattern, I couldn't get it on the screen. So the larger the pattern, the longer that then you get these indicators, the longer the time frame, the more power you can put behind them, the more sure you can be that those indicators have real data backing them up. So the higher the time frame, the longer this data has to mature, the more likely it's good data, and then you can actually rely on it to deliver. So what we're seeing here again, we're seeing a very nice descending wedge, this time right at the apex, right at the very end. We've got down to here. You can see just coming off the screen on the left, the other one we showed with that run up we had, about 600% run up that was. So now the measure move here, if this one actually does hit its target, it's hard to predict exactly where it will go, but the measure move is around anywhere from a 10x to 11x, possibly a 12x, or you could even come up to the resistance here, maybe a 13, 14x. So huge returns here available. And what are we seeing again? We're seeing the bull and bear power decreasing, and so we're getting the bullish divergence there, which is lovely, and then we're seeing the volume again drop off. So I thought it was really interesting, worth pointing out, and we can actually, this is again where you can buy it at Uniswap.io is the best place. You can use your ETH, you can use pretty much any coin, it will auto swap for you. But yeah, let me quickly see if I can jump in here quickly. Oh no, I can't. I haven't got it saved, but yes, go check it out. I thought it was interesting. I think the timing of this is really good as well, because we have HEX, which has been airdropped to millions of people. We're starting to see others BTC breakout, and we're also in a period of deflation with HEX. We haven't had a period of deflation with HEX for, well, I don't even think since it existed. We've got around 93% of the tokens locked. Small liquidity, so it's very easy to pump quite aggressively, and HEX has a history of when it moves, it doesn't really give you a chance to get in. So this is probably your warning before we start seeing some price action. This is not financial advice. I'm not predicting anything. I'm not recommending you do anything. I'm just showing you what I'm doing and what I'm looking at with the data we have. Okay, thanks very much.